Good morning to all my students out there, and welcome to the new lecture of business studies. As previously we were discussing about the financial management, that is financial management, and we have studied a lot more about it, that how the financial market take place and how it is important, how you are taking the financial decision. That financial decision is basically of a three type, that one, that is the investment decision, then the financing decision, and also that is the dividend decisions. These we have studied in the previous lecture. So moving to the next, that is, what do you mean by the financial planning? Before starting my lecture, I just want to just summarize you and just give you the overview about it, that what we are going to be studying today. We will cover the topic, that is the financial planning. Then we also discuss about the objective of financial planning, the importance. Then we will move to the capital structure, factor determining the capital structure, factor affecting the requirement of fixed assets or fixed capital, factor affecting the working capital, that is the short-term investment decision. So one by one we are going to discuss it. First is the financial planning. What do you mean by the financial planning? It's a very important blueprint of the plan which is related with the finance, which is related with the money. So we can say that financial planning means deciding in advance how much to spend, what to spend according to the funds at your disposal. Means arranging the money or the fund. That is very important, that from what are the sources you are arranging. Before sources, you must know about how much the amount you needed, how much actually the fund you are required to use, and after that you need to also see that from what are the sources, what are the needs you can, and the sources from where you can arrange your fund. And it's not only to arrange your fund, it's also to disperse or disposal of the fund is also very important. So this is actually, we can say, is a very crucial decision which is related to the financial planning. So we can say, in the words of guest book, financial planning include the determination of amount of finance needed by the enterprises to carry out its operations smoothly, determination of the source of funds, the pattern of the security to be issued, and determination of suitable policy for proper utilization and administration of the fund. So we can say that it is the amount of finance, how much amount of finance is needed, what are the sources from where you can arrange the funds, also the proper disposal of the funds that is required. So here the financial planning begins with the determination of the total capital requirement. For this, the financial manager to do the sale forecast, and the future prospect appear to be bright, and except increase in the sale. Then the firm need to be increase in production capacity, which means more requirement of the long-term fund. So for determining the the amount, the financial manager or a finance manager has to forecast the sale, how much the sale is going to be pursued in the future. So if it is increased, if it is expecting the sale is increasing, then you need a more finance, because for the sale there will be increase of the production, there will be increase to arrange the stock and inventories also. So here the long requirement of the you can say the term. So there is a long term funds is required for you. After estimating the requirement of fund, the next step of the financial planning is to deciding how to raise this finance. Finance may be internally generated by the business, or the capital have to be raised from the external sources such as equity shares, preference shares, debentures, loans, these are all the external sources. Third one is financial planning is broader in scope as it does not end by raising estimated finance. So it includes long-term investment decision. In financial planning, the manager analyzes various investment plans and select most appropriate. The finance manager make short-term financial plan also, which is called the budgets. So here it's not a very small job, it is actually the area is very wide for the finance manager to make the different kind of the plans on that he has to work on. Also he has to also work on the short term plan which is related with the money, which is called budgets. So what are the objectives of financial planning? First is that is to ensure availability of funds, whether these are required. So the main objective of financial planning is that the sufficient funds should be available in the company for different purposes, such as for the purchase of the long-term asset to meet day-to-day expenses, etc. It ensures timely availability of the finance, and along with the availability, financial planning also try to specify the sources of finance. So here it means that availability of finance, that has to also analyze that either it will be available for the long term as well as for the short term, to see that firm does not raise sources unnecessarily. It is also very much required to see that how much fund and what are the sources is required, either it is available to you, and on the other hand you have to also see that the unnecessarily you should not raise more money, because it will be the waste of the money. That's why we can say excess funding is as bad as inadequate or a shortage of the funds. So if there is a surplus money, financing planning must invest in the best possible manner, as keeping financial resources idle is a great loss for an organization. If the funds are just be there without any use, or they are be there, it is also the wastage of the money. Funds should be employed in a right way. It should be employed in a productive way. It should not be there sitting idly. You should not keep your funds or be in the trunk or be in if there is no use. Because funds should be, if you are arranging the money, if you are arranging the fund from the outside sources or from the retained earning, it should be employed on a productive way, so that you can more earn or you can generate more revenues from them. So financial planning includes both short term as well as the long term planning. Long term planning focuses on the capital expenditure plan, whereas the short term planning plans are called budgets. So budget include the detailed plan of action for the period of the 1 year. We can say that the budgets are actually the plans which are for you can say for related with the money as well as for the yearly basis. There is a stipulated time over there. Importance of the financial planning. What are the importance of the financial planning? So here, sound financial planning is essential for source of any business enterprises. Its need is felt because of the there are some points that we are going to discuss. First is makes the firm better prepared to face the future. We always require the funds for tackling the future. Future is unforeseen. Nobody knows what is going to be happen in the future. So either it is a boom period, you require the money. Either it is a depression, even then you require the money. It helps in forecasting what may happen in the future under different business situation. For example, if there is a prediction of 20% of the growth in the sale, how it may happen that growth rate turn out to be 10. Growth may, if there is a prediction that the 20% growth is going to be happen in the future. You must be prepare yourself from the downside and as well as for the upside. You must be prepared for your 10% as well as for the upper side, that is for the 30%. So you must have not a one plan but a 3 plan. the downward as well as the upward as well as what is going to be predict. So the financial planner prepare the blueprint of these three situations so that management must know what to do in each the situation. It means you should better be ready for all kind of situation. Help in avoiding the business shocks and surprises. Business means you are just taking the risk on your head. So you must be prepared for the shocks and surprises. By preparing the blueprint of to face different type of situations, coordinate various functions. So there are so many functions. It helps in coordinating various functions of productions, sales, etc. by providing clear policies and procedures. There should be the clarity among the policies and procedure which is related with the production, with the sale, with the maintaining the inventories and all. So proper utilization of finance, it is also very important. One thing that it is to arranging the fund, that is more important to utilization of the fund, because fund or the money is the most scarce resource. So we can say that the detailed plan of action prepared under financial planning to reduce the waste, duplication of efforts and gap in the planning. Link present with the future. So financial planning, the importance of financial planning is actually it is a link which actually link with the present with the future. That's important. So it try to link present with the future by anticipating sale, growth, etc. Now, link between investment and financing decision. That is also the importance of planning, that it provides a link between the investment and the financing decision on the continuous basis. Make evaluation of actual performance earlier. So, by spelling out detailed objective for various business segments, it makes the evaluation of actual performance easier. So these are all the importance of the financial planning. Now we are moving to the capital structure. Have you ever seen the laborer who is just mixing the cement and the sand just to make up the, make up for the building work? It is also just like mixing up the dead sand. It is actually the kind of a mix which is actually including the debts, kind of different kinds of debts and equity in such a way which is the best for your structure. That's why it is called the capital structure. So we can say capital structure means a proportion of the debt and equity used for financing the operation of the business. So we can denote it, capital structure is equal to the debt upon equities. So in other words, capital structure represents the proportion of debt capital and equity capital in the capital structure. What kind of capital structure is best for the firm is very difficult to define. So the capital structure should be such which increase the value of equity shares. So or maximize the wealth of equity shareholder. As in the initial we have just studied about the right signal that either our business is going right or any company is going right is to just see that the target should be the wealth maximization of the shareholder. So this mix is of a such way, in a such extent that it actually add the value per share or earning per share of the shareholder. If it is helping to increase the earning per share of the shareholder, it means this is the right mix. So this is only the definition of what should be the right structure of the capital. So debt and equity differ in the cost and the risk. As debt involves less cost, but it is very risky. Security, where is the security? Equities are expensive securities, but there are safe security from the company's point of view. So if we talk about the debts, they are risky. If we talk about the equities, they are more expensive. Debt is a risky because payment of regular interest on the debt is in a legal obligation of the company. In case if they fail to pay, the debt security holder can claim over the asset of the company, and if firm fails to meet return the principal amount, it can even go for liquidation at the stage of the insolvency. So if you are taking the debt capital, you should be very much prepared about that. You have to pay the interest at the time, and even at paying back the principal amount. If the company is not able to pay the principal amount, then the debenture holder can also go to the court and they can make the company on the liquidations. So equity securities are safe security from the company's point of view, view that the company has no legal obligation to pay the dividend to equity shareholder if it is running in loss, but these are expensive security. So there is no you can say no foundation of paying the dividend if there is the loss, but in the other word you can say that these are expensive. So we have to see both. Capital structure of the business affect the profitability and the financial risk both. The best capital structure is the one which result in maximizing the value of the equity shareholder, or which brings the rise in the price of the equity shareholder. As we again are discussing about that, the best capital structure is that structure which actually maximizing the wealth of the equity shareholder. So with debt fund, companies fund and earning increase because debt is a cheaper source of finance, but it is very risky, so involve more debt in the capital structure. More debt will result in increase in the earning only when rate of the earning of the company, that is the return on investment, should be more than the rate of the interest of the debt. So if the rate of interest is more than the earning or ROI of the company, then more debt means loss of the company. So you should be better take care about that, how much, what extent you should add the debt capital into your capital structure. Now come to the next, that is the factor determining the capital structure. What are the various factors which influencing the decision of the capital structure? You clearly, I think you must have the clearly view on what is a capital structure. It is actually the appropriate mix of the debt and equity. So what are the different factors which influence the capital structure decision? First is the cash flow position. Cash flow means what is actually the flow of the cash, what are the inflow and the outflow of the cash in the company. So the decision related to the composition of the capital structure also depend upon the availability of the business to generate the enough cash flow. The company is under the legal obligation to pay the fixed rate of interest to the debenture holders, dividend to the preference shares, and principal and interest amount for the loan. So sometimes company makes sufficient profit, but it is not able to generate cash inflow for making payment. So we can say that we must see that what is the way of our capital structure, because it must be able to cater all the need at the time. That will be the good cash flow. So you can say that the expected cash flow must be matched with the obligation of making payment, because company fail to make fixed payment, it may face insolvency. Before including the debt in the capital structure, company must analyze properly the liquidity of its working capital. The company employs more of the debt security in its capital structure if company is sure of generating the enough cash inflow, whereas if there is a shortage of the cash, it must employ more of the equity in its capital structure, as there is no liquidity of the company to pay its equity to the equity shareholder. So it's very important to just analyze about the cash flow of position of the company. If the cash flow position is good, if it is the flow of the cash is coming frequently, then it is easy to pay all the obligation. If it is not frequent, then company's manager or financial manager must be consider this point by mixing the debt into your capital structure. Next is the interest coverage ratio, which is also called ICR. So it refers a number of the time the company earning before interest and taxes cover the interest payment obligation. So we can say higher the interest coverage ratio means company can have more of the borrowed fund security, whereas lower ICR means less borrowed fund securities. Next is the return on investment, which is called ROI. That return on investment is another crucial factor which help in deciding the capital structure. That if return on investment is more than the rate of interest, then the company must prefer debt in its capital structure, whereas if the ROI is less than the rate of the interest to be paid on the debt, then the company should avoid the debts. So if ROI is increasing, you can increase the debt. If ROI is decreasing, you can less your debt capital. So we can say next is the cost of debt. What is the cost of debt? If the firm can arrange borrowed fund at the low rate of interest, then it will be prefer more debt as compared to the equity. You have to also see that what is the cost. Next, the tax rate. High rate of makes the debt cheaper and interest paid to debt security holder is subtracted from the income before calculating the tax, whereas the company have to pay taxes on dividend paid to the shareholder. So high end tax rate means prefer debt, whereas the low rate tax we can prefer the equity in the capital structure. So these all are the importance. One is also the cost of the equity. As you are analyzing the cost of debt, you are also analyzing the how much the cost is involved in raising the equities. So another factor will help in deciding the capital structure is the cost of the equity. Owner or the equity shareholder expect the return on their investment, that is earning per share. As far as debt is increasing, earning per share, then we can include it in the capital structure. But if the earning per share is decreasing with inclusion of the debt, then we must depend upon the equity share capital. Next is the flotation cost. You have to also decide the flotation cost. You have to also analyze what is the flotation cost of hiring all these debt and equity. So flotation cost is a cost involved in the issue of the shares and debentures. These costs include the cost of advertisement, underwriter commission, statutory fees. So issue of the share and debentures require more formalities as well as more flotation cost is required, whereas there is a less cost involved in raising the capital by loans and advances. The one more point, that is the risk consideration that also takes place in the importance, that is the financial risk refers to the positions when the company is unable to meet its fixed financial charges such as an interest, preference dividend, payment of creditor. If the firm business risk is low, then it can raise more capital by issuing the debt security, whereas at the time of high business risk, it should be depend upon the equity. So next is the flexibility. Excess of the debt may restrict the firm's company capacity to borrow the funds. To maintain flexibility, it must maintain some borrowing power to take care of the unforeseen circumstances. Next is the stock market condition. There are two main conditions of the market, that is the boom condition and the recession or depression, you can say. These conditions affect the capital structure, especially when company is planning to raise the additional capital. Depending upon the market conditions, the investor must be more careful in their dealing. During the depression period in the market, business is slow and investor also hesitate to take risks, so that this time it is advisable to issue the borrowed fund security, as well as these are less risky and ensure fixed repayment and regular payment of interest. But if there is a boom period, business is flourishing, that is business is more flourishing, and investor also take a risk. So prefer to invest in the equity shares to earn more in the form of dividend. So we can say that these are all the important points and the important factor which influence the decision of the capital structure. So next we will going to do is the fixed and working capital. These are also be the part of your financial management, and that we will do in the next lecture. Till then, I will say good luck to all my students.